Hi, it's Courtney. I am not one to do tutorials, but I'm going to try this one just for everyone who's struggling with the fact that this bias takes forever. There are a million and one. I guess the flat iron is definitely the best trick I found for running it through the bias maker and getting it folded quickly. But for joining strips, if anyone doesn't know how to do that, there are a million videos on how to join strips, but they're all done by quilters who take forever and do it super neat. And for this project, we don't need super neat. We just need lots and lots of it fast. So basically, when you're doing joining strips, you're going to cut all your strips to 1 3/8 to fit through those 3D printed bias makers that are in all the supply kits or at the supply stations. To do that as quickly as possible, I just went ahead on my cutting board and marked 1 3/8 at the top and the bottom so that you can just crank it out and get the cutting done fast. And to join them, then you're just going to take them, you take one strip, place it face up, next strip goes face down, right sides together, the work swings out, so you got your tails to the right, work out, the working piece to the left, and then just stitch straight across. I put this piece of tape so I have a guide. The trickiest part of it is if you're working with a solid fabric, it gets hard to tell what you're working in. By the time you get to the other end of this, what's the right side up? So you just take that and feed it through your fingers. If you need to, if you're working with a print, you don't need to bother. You just find the end and put it right side up. But if you're working with a solid, move it through until you have whatever is your right side. So if this one's face down, you're going to find it until it's so the opposite side's face up. Get your next strip, right sides together, and again swing it so the working piece is out, the tail's to the left. Once you get a couple of those, you just grab a whole pile of them and do it. And once you get them all chain stitched, you're going to just come back, snip them apart. Snip them apart, cut your tails off, and then it opens up, and that just goes right through the bias maker. Again, that's one of those things. Quilters will be very fanatical about pressing their seams open for a true. It'll lay better that way, but for our purposes, I've just been feeding it through the bias maker and using the flat iron, and it goes just fine without pressing the seams at all.